So you have the Sennheiser Momentum 4, and you want to get the best sound out of it. Hey there, my name is Norb, and I'm going to help you do just that. To start tuning, go ahead and launch the Sennheiser app. Make sure that it's up to date. To do that, go to your settings and then check your firmware version. If you're using Android and you want to make sure that you're using the best codec possible, tap on Settings, then tap on Audio Resolution and select High Resolution. If your device can cast using aptX Adaptive, then these headphones will be able to play 24-bit 96 kHz sound through Bluetooth if you're an iPhone user, or if your device just doesn't handle aptX Adaptive. Then this option won't do anything for you, so keep it off because it will stop you from doing some of the stuff in the rest of the video. Now, let's say that you actually want to tune the sound a bit, but you don't want to mess with the actual equalizer yet. This is the easiest way for most people to get a sound they really like. Open the Sound app and tap on Sound Personalization. If you turned high resolution on, you'll need to turn that off to use this option. You'll get the option to create a new personalized sound or fine-tune your personalized sound. For now, select Create a new personalized sound. If you're asked to sign into your Sennheiser settings or create a new account, go ahead and do that. Then, just go through the settings and see what sounds good to you. At the end, you'll get the screen that will let you tune the sound to how it sounds best for you. Move the blue dot to change the sound, but you should already be pretty close. You're just fine-tuning at this point. You can edit this later by selecting Fine-Tune Personalized Sound from the Sound Personalization menu. Let's assume though that you want something specific. Open the app, tap Equalizer, then select Edit. If you're a fan of the Momentum 3 and you want to get close to that same sound signature, just lower the 63 Hz band to -3.5 dB. It's as simple as it sounds, and I think it is the best tuning for these headphones for general purpose listening. If you want to match the Momentum 3 sound exactly, you won't be able to do that. But this is the closest I was able to get. Set 63 Hz at -3.5. Set 250 Hz at -1.5. Set 1 kHz at 0.5. Leave 4 kHz at 0, and set 8 kHz at 1. Sennheiser's EQ lets you fine-tune. So maybe you like 250 Hz at -1.2, for example. Have at it. Experiment. I have a section on just that at the end of this video. Let's assume that you decide you want something that comes close to the Harman target, and you've already hit that like button and maybe even tapped that thanks button because you're finding this useful. Thank you very much. Here's what I recommend. Set 63 Hz to -3. Set 250 Hz to 1. Set 1 kHz to 1. Set 4 kHz to 2. And set 8 kHz to 3. Of course, this is approximate. Ultimately, this is just a starting point. The best sound for you depends on you, your head, your ears, your personal preferences, all of that. But what you want is to get to a range that you enjoy. If you want to create and save a new setting, start by tapping on Create New with Soundcheck. This is perfect if you want to create a bunch of different settings for specific things that you listen to. Play your music, follow these steps, and you'll come up with something. You can then tweak this a bit and then save it with its own name. By the way, I highly recommend you spend some time testing out the presets that Sennheiser preloads. These are good and they work very well. Now, through all of this, I've been talking about tweaking your sound so you can get the best settings for you. So let's talk about that. Fine-tuning your settings starts by understanding that what you're doing with the equalizer is raising or lowering the volume of that specific range. This is why you don't just want to make everything higher or everything lower across the board. That's just called turning up the volume or turning it down. So here's what I want you to do. Go back to the completely flat response. Put a song that you really like on. Now, take all the EQ ranges and turn them all the way down. This will sound weird and muffled and weak. Next, take just one channel and turn it all the way up. Leave it there for maybe about 10 to 15 seconds. Drop it back down and do that for the next channel. Sounds weird, right? The reason we're doing that is so you can hear how each of these ranges impacts the music. So what do each of these ranges do exactly? Starting with the 63 Hz band, which is where things like bass guitars and tubas tend to roam. This is where you get your punch and your rumble. Sennheiser is excellent about not letting the bass in this area get the rest of the sound muddy. So you can use this even if the rest of the tuning is pretty neutral. If you want even more rumble, turn on the bass boost. Next is at 250 Hz. That's where most human voices live when speaking, at least the initial tone. So if you want to emphasize voices a little more, you may want to turn this up some, as well as some of the treble. If you just turn this up, then it will sound muddy, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. Moving on to the 1 kHz range, this is the upper general range for a lot of instruments and voices. Turn this up for additional clarity and presence. In fact, if you want to experiment, put on something where someone is speaking. Turn up the 250 Hz band and then turn up the 1 kHz band. Hear the difference? It went from sounding like someone talking in an underwater booth to someone more normal, right? After that, we have the 4 kilohertz range. Turn this up to start introducing some brilliance, especially with higher range instruments like the piccolo. Even human voices, in fact. Turning this up along with the 200 and 1000 hertz bands, so 1 kilohertz, will make them sound more natural. If you want a more exciting sound, turn this higher than both of those. A lot of emphasis here might make this sound a little bit too sharp, or it might be a little too crisp for you, too metallic, too artificial. A lot of people don't like that, but feel free to experiment. Finally, we get to the 8 kilohertz range. This is a pretty high range. It also helps with clarity and definition. For acoustic music and for voices, by this point, you're not hearing the instrument anymore. You're not hearing the voice anymore. You're listening to the harmonic frequencies above the root note. Without getting into a bunch of music theory or acoustics or physics, the harmonic sequence is what creates an instrument's timbre, why a trumpet or a violin sounds the way that it does. Turning this too high, though, may cause sibilance, which is an emphasis on things like that tss sound. Now, if you just got your Momentum 4 not too long ago, then you're probably still learning about it. I have a ton of videos about it, which you can find in the description, or click right here to watch something that I'm sure that you'll enjoy. Take care.